Hello everybody, this is the part 2 of my INTP versus ENTP series. So last time I talked about the first function, and today I'm gonna talk about the third function, the hidden agenda function in sociolinguistics. So INTPs have tertiary introverted sensing, SI, while ENTPs have tertiary extroverted feeling. So deep down, INTPs want to achieve a certain stability in their life, which is what introverted sensing is about, while ENTPs want to achieve a certain recognition in their life, which is what extroverted feeling is about. So typically what this means in real life, how you can spot that in real life, because all of this is purely theoretical. So how do you see that in real life? INTPs usually have a very calm lifestyle. They have, to some extent, all people have a calm lifestyle, but what I mean is that it's what INTPs and INFPs to some extent really want to achieve. They want to achieve that stability, that routine, where they are not like that, because they are not ISTJs or ISFJs. They are not dominant introverted sensors, but they would like to achieve that stability. For example, I've talked to some INTPs in the past, and usually what comes up in the conversation is that they lack that commitment. I wouldn't say they lack motivation, because sometimes they do things, but they lack the commitment to do these things daily, typically, which is this is not only the realm of introverted sensing, of course, but in their case, since they don't use extroverted thinking, which is the other function that has the ability to do things on a daily basis, regularly, in their case, the only possibility for them to have a regular routine is introverted sensing. It's the only tool, you could say it's the only tool in their shed that gives them this possibility. And so yes, usually they say that they lack commitment. They start something, but they never finish it. And for example, the guy said, I started to work out, 1 day, 2 days, and then I forgot, and then I came back, but then I forgot, and again and again. And they really want to achieve that certain level of commitment, this capacity to be regular in what they do, but because introverted sensing is weak in their stack, they have a difficulty to do that. So yes, as they have introverted sensing hidden agenda, they want to be in control of their daily life, their daily routine. They want to have a nice lifestyle, a nice controlled lifestyle, but they have difficulty to do that, because as usual, since it's a weak function, it's the third function, they don't do it as naturally and as often as, for example, analyze things through TI. So that would be INTPs. So now ENTPs. As ENTPs have tertiary extroverted feeling, it means that deep down, again, it's not something they will tell you up front, but this is something, if you do a psychological analysis of them, if you put them on a if you put them on a sofa and you ask them many questions, and you go deep down to what they are inside, you'll see that they want to be loved. They want to be recognized, not recognized in a powerful way. They want to recognize. That would be extroverted sensing. Extroverted sensors tertiary, so ENFJs and ENTJs, want to be recognized as powerful, and you could say to some extent that, at least for the extroverted tertiary functions, you are trying to be recognized for something. So for tertiary SE, it would be recognized for your power, while extroverted feeling, it would be recognized for the love you are able to give, I think. This is only a possibility I've come up with in the last 10 seconds, but I don't know. So ENTPs want to feel loved, and they want to be able to spread love. This is in contrast to INTPs, who don't give a damn about love. They don't even know what love is because they have weak FE. So each time they have INTPs, because they have weak extroverted feeling, each time they want to express love, they're awkward about it. While ENTPs, since they have higher extroverted FE, they can be much more direct, and they won't feel awkward about it. I think they will feel very, not in their domain, but at the same time, they know they can do it. It's, for example, it's the same thing. It's similar for the ENTJ, for example, the ENTJ or the ENFJ. They have tertiary SE. So it means that even though they are not fully able to do the physical task you ask them to do, they know they can try to do it. They know to some extent that it's not completely out of their potential. So same thing for ENTPs. But at the same time, if you ask them an introverted feeling thing, they will say, no, I can't do that. It's completely out of my control. For example, you have the ESTJ, I think he's in ESTJ, Jack in Lost, and he says himself that he lacks bedside manners. He cannot do the smooth talking with other people because he lacks the empathy or the sympathy, whatever you want to call it, that you need to talk with people through introverted feeling. His introverted feeling, his feeling function, the only feeling function he has is too low in his stack to allow him to speak to other people with a feeling intention. So ENTPs, because they have tertiary FE, they know they can to some extent give love. They're not completely okay with that, but they know they can. INTPs, they cannot, because it's so weak in them. It's something they don't even talk about. They're mostly brag about their introverted sensing. They will say, oh, I can do, you can give me any task and I will do it every day, etc. But they won't be as at ease with this task. So if you take real life examples for ENTPs, I gave a real life example for INTPs who can't, for example, commit to a routine. A real life example for an ENTP would be, that they usually, just like ESTPs, they usually have a lot of friends. Usually, unless they are the type 8 of the Enneagram, because the 8 is usually antisocial to some extent. But unless they're in that case, which is very rare for an ENTP, I think most ENTPs are everything but 8s. They usually have a lot of friends, and when you have friends, it's usually because you love people. Unless you don't, why do you have friends if you don't like people? So that would be a good expression real life correlation example, call it what you want, of the tertiary extroverted feeling at work. But at the same time, they are not dominant extroverted feelers, so they're not gonna use, for example, ENFJs and ESFJs. They don't really care to some extent about that harmony around people, so they're only using people as a personal domain to give themselves a certain credit, while ENTPs are already genuine with their extroverted feeling because it's very raw, it's tertiary, it's not completely under the awareness of the user. So when an ENTP says, for example, I like you, it really means I like you. While when the ENFJ or an ESFJ says I like you, it doesn't necessarily mean I like you. It could be a manipulation or something that, because the FE is under the control of the user, because it's dominant, it can be used for more than what it was designed for. Whereas for ENTPs, FE is only FE at its purest form. So ENTPs are usually very light-hearted people, in comparison with INTPs, who are usually very thorough people. How do you say when? I think it's thorough. I'm not sure. People who follow their guidelines, something like that. So I think that's my second video of INTP versus ENTP. So I hope it helped you, and see you soon.